Do you know about Socrates? Let's know about this historical figure, but before starting the video, please subscribe our channel for latest updates. Socrates. He was a Greek philosopher from Athens who is credited as the founder of Western philosophy, and among the first moral philosophers of the ethical tradition of thought. An enigmatic figure, Socrates authored no texts and is known mainly through the posthumous accounts of classical writers, particularly his students Plato and Xenophon. These accounts are written as dialogues, in which Socrates and his interlocutors examine a subject, in the style of question and answer. They gave rise to the Socratic dialogue literary genre. Contradictory accounts of Socrates make a reconstruction of his philosophy nearly impossible, a situation known as the Socratic problem. Socrates was a polarizing figure in Athenian society. In 399 BC, he was accused of impiety and corrupting the youth. After a trial that lasted a day, he was sentenced to death. He spent his last day in prison, refusing offers to help him escape. Early life of Socrates. Socrates was born in 470 or 469 BC to Sophroniscus and Phaenarete, a stoneworker and a midwife, respectively, in the Athenian deme of Alopece. Therefore, he was an Athenian citizen, having been born to relatively affluent Athenians. Socrates' education. He lived close to his father's relatives and inherited, as was customary, part of his father's estate, securing a life reasonably free of financial concerns. His education followed the laws and customs of Athens. He learned the basic skills of reading and writing and, like most wealthy Athenians, received extra lessons in various other fields such as gymnastics, poetry and music. Family and marriage. He was married twice. Which came first is not clear. His marriage to Xanthippe took place when Socrates was in his 50s, and another marriage was with a daughter of Aristides, an Athenian statesman. He had 3 sons with Xanthippe. Socrates' services and work. Socrates fulfilled his military service during the Peloponnesian War and distinguished himself in 3 campaigns, according to Plato. Plato's dialogues are among the most comprehensive accounts of Socrates to survive from antiquity. They demonstrate the Socratic approach to areas of philosophy including epistemology and ethics. The Platonic Socrates lends his name to the concept of the Socratic method, and also to Socratic irony. The Socratic method of questioning, or elenchus, takes shape in dialogue using short questions and answers, epitomized by those Platonic texts in which Socrates and his interlocutors examine various aspects of an issue or an abstract meaning, usually relating to one of the virtues, and find themselves at an impasse, completely unable to define what they thought they understood. Ignorance of Socrates. Socrates is known for proclaiming his total ignorance. He used to say that the only thing he was aware of was his ignorance, seeking to imply that the realization of our ignorance is the first step in philosophizing. Socrates exerted a strong influence on philosophers in later antiquity and has continued to do so in the modern era. He was studied by medieval and Islamic scholars and played an important role in the thought of the Italian Renaissance, particularly within the humanist movement. Socrates attracted great interest from the Athenian public and especially the Athenian youth. Physical features. He had a flat turned-up nose, bulging eyes and a large belly. His friends joked about his appearance. Socrates was indifferent to material pleasures, including his own appearance and personal comfort. He neglected personal hygiene, bathed rarely, walked barefoot, and owned only one ragged coat. Although Socrates was attracted to youth, as was common and accepted in ancient Greece. Passion of Socrates. He resisted his passion for young men because, as Plato describes, he was more interested in educating their souls. Politics. Politically, he did not take sides in the rivalry between the democrats and the oligarchs in Athens. He criticized both. The character of Socrates as exhibited in Apology, Crito, Phaedo and Symposium concurs with other sources to an extent that gives confidence in Plato's depiction of Socrates in these works as being representative of the real Socrates. Death. Socrates died in Athens in 399 BC after a trial for impiety and the corruption of the young. He spent his last day in prison among friends and followers who offered him a route to escape, which he refused. He died the next morning, in accordance with his sentence, after drinking poison hemlock. According to the Phaedo, his last words were, "Crito, we owe a rooster to Asclepius. Don't forget to pay the debt."